Overwhelming to get up to date with the latest changes that we need to know. Smoove Xperience is a travel app that wants to help you settle your pre-departure tests when leaving your country. Greg Duffell is the Group CEO and joins us now for what they're up to. Welcome into Ticker News today.
Thank you, Adrian, and good afternoon there to all your viewers.
Of course, appreciate your time. So perhaps to begin with, tell us a bit about the complexity that you're seeing when it comes to cross-border travel around the world at the moment.
Complexity, Adrian, I would add a few more words: confusing, inconsistent, and that horrible word that just showed before, lockdown, which is a pandemic in itself to all of us. It's a total state of chaos in most places, even crossing states in Australia or crossing international borders. Very, very confusing time for people. Essentially falls into three buckets. You've got to have a vaccination and a certificate to go with that. Secondly, you've got to have some tests before you travel. And the third bucket is, what sort of quarantine are you going to face when you get to your destination? And as importantly, when you come back home again, are you going to be locked into quarantine and another lockdown? So very, very confusing for travelers or those who are thinking of traveling.
So tell us a bit more about what you're up to. And also, I know that it was during the pandemic, I believe, that you started this project up. Take us back to that point and how it's developed up to this point.
Yeah, true. So you've got to be sort of crazy to start a travel company in a period when you can't travel, right? But actually, our founders are all people from very diverse backgrounds: Michael, Francis, Alex, and Jensen. Exactly that. They were stuck at home, locked in their houses in Singapore, and thinking, hey, at the end of this, we do want to travel. How are we going to make this a bit of a smoother experience for everybody? And you're looking at the moment, which you do want to travel, you're going on to multiple websites, looking at all sorts of information. Some of that information's up to date, some of it's not. You've got different platforms and applications you need to apply. So essentially, they decided late last year that, hey, you know what, guys? Let's try and make this into one app, into one experience, and try and make it for non-travelers as smooth as possible, in the sense of, I'm not an expert in travel, so please help me, guide me through this process of planning my journey, when I get to the destination and when I come back home again. And that's really what Smoove Xperience is. That's our goal, to make that as smooth as possible for travelers.
So how big is that challenge for you, given all of the changes that are taking place? Because when you set something up like this, you need to make sure it is foolproof for people who jump on, so it's not confusing. How challenging has that been?
Well, technologies, with plenty of technology around nowadays, Adrian, to make that a lot easier. Certainly when I started in travel 40 years ago, it was a lot more difficult. But we can actually take experts in all different fields. And in fact, we've done a partnership with Fullerton Healthcare Group, and they are experts in doing pre-departure testing, COVID testing. They have a network right around the Asian region, over 600 locations, 14,000 partners there that they deal with. And so our users of our app can actually come on board, do their pre-departure booking, pay for it online, go and do the test, and also, more importantly, get the digital certificate, which is an essential part of travel. And in some cases, you need to get these certificates notarized. So we have all that online and a very, very easy side of doing things. And as we grow, we want to partner with more experts like that to bring in more travel components, so that you do get a curated travel experience, but experts providing that information. We're also bringing in travel influencers and bloggers. They've been sitting around for the last 2 years, not traveling and not doing their blogs. They have a pent-up demand to go and travel again. So they're really eager to get out there and give us first-hand experience of what it's like in a destination now, how safe it is when you do travel. Australia loves to go to places like Bali. Well, how safe is it in Bali? Do you have to wear a mask in Bali? Are you allowed to go out of your hotel? Can you go to the beach? There's so many questions travelers have at the moment as to what can we do if we travel again? 2 years ago, we just literally jumped on a plane or jumped in our cars and drove and traveled without too much of a thought of what we need to do. But now you really do have to plan this very carefully. And heaven forbid, if you're going to take your children with you, do they need to be vaccinated? What age do they need to be vaccinated? Each country has its own rules and regulations. So it is a very confusing game out there. And we are trying to bring all this together and make it a little less confusing and a lot more smoother for everybody who wants to travel. And hopefully we can do that without this lockdown that they keep flashing on the news.
Sounds good to me, Greg. Love the energy, and it sounds like an exciting opportunity certainly out there, because at some stage we are going to go back and you're right, there's a lot of information that people want to know, and I suppose in one channel it's going to help a lot of people. Greg, thank you for your time. Where can we learn a little bit more about this?
SmooveXperience.net. We have an app that's downloadable, and wishing everybody a Merry Christmas and hopefully safe travels, and hopefully you'll be able to do smooth travel as well. So all the best to everybody.
Nicely done. Appreciate your time. We'll talk soon.
Thank you.